This is the points table of the Super Sixes. Oman at the top with 4 points, carrying 2 points from the league stages. Nepal in the second, and UAE at third. And I'd like to invite my co-commentator Andrew Leonard here in the commentary box. Good afternoon, Lenny.
Good afternoon, Paresh. Great to be with you, mate. And well, an Associate El Clasico day is always a good day. Very, very rarely have a one-sided contest between these two sides, and whoever wins this one will be really confident of taking one of the 3 qualification spots for next year's ICC Men's T20 World Cup. For the UAE, it would be a return to the T20 World Cup. For Nepal, it would be back-to-back. Oman, the hosts, are sitting pretty. Good victory for them this morning over Qatar. Did the hard work with the bats, having to bat first on the second ground here. Start to their the final preparations are underway. Just missed the anthems there in the background. Not as many fans as we had on Friday, or indeed for the evening game earlier in the tournament for Nepal. Problem is, it's a Sunday, and that is the first day of the working week here in the beautiful Sultanate of Oman, and also with it being an afternoon start, it's difficult for fans to be able to get up and out. So we do have a couple of diehards, but probably only 20 or 30 at the moment. Let's hope that the number begins to swell, as a few people might be able to get some half days off work. Kushal Bertel and Asif Sheikh will open the batting, as they always do. Nepal, well, they've got a lot of talent on the bench. They've chosen to stick with the same 11 right the way throughout this tournament. Maybe a bit of a surprise. No Karen KC, not even once. Arif Sheikh, maybe a bit more of an ODI player. Lokesh Bam has not had a huge number of opportunities, as 2 umpires give each other a nice pat on the back and a bit of support in the way out. Rashid Riaz of Pakistan and the great man Mukul from Bangladesh. Great to see those two there. Rashid Riaz, of course, remember, he umpired the final between Nepal and Oman 2 years ago in the Asia qualifier. And maybe the lack of Mohamed Adil Alam as well, a surprise given how good he was against the West Indies. Stuart Law has just identified his best 11. He's sticking with it and backing them.
Because Nepal winning the 2 games in the league stages with the same team, that is why it's unchanged. Kulsun Jah scoring 20 of 5 against Kuwait, and against Japan, taking 2 wickets, vital wickets of the captain of Japan, Fleming.
It's a bit like 2 cornered tigers or caged tigers. Imran Khan's favourite expression from the 92 World Cup, the cornered tigers. They're just raring to go and get out there, but they're being held before the official time of 2:30 p.m, which is our start time. We're just approaching that 1 minute before it now. Very welcome along to the coverage, live and free around the world on ICC TV in India. Welcome to the coverage on Fancode, and it's up on Kantapur Max TV HD as well up in Nepal. So great to have you all with us. Should be a cracking contest. Very hard to know who's going to win it, Paresh. There's plenty of different statistical pointers depending upon which way you want to look. But maybe the greatest indicator of them all is that they've played 10 T20Is against each other, and both sides have won 5. That's how tightly fought this is.
That is what Rohit Podal said at the toss. It's kind of a final for them. It is 5 apiece in the 10 T20Is they have played against each other. It's going to be Junaid Siddique to start the proceedings for UAE. Kushal Bertel is going to take the strike, as he always does. It will be a cracker of a game. UAE and Nepal always has been, since UAE and Nepal got the full member of the ACC, Asian Cricket Council.
And a big day for Jonathan Figge. Great story. We'll talk about more about him in the second innings. 5 years since his last UAE appearance. There's so many good options in terms of different cricketers. We've spoken plenty the other day, Paresh, didn't we, in UAE's game about the UAE players that aren't here. Ayan Khan, Varitia Aravind et al. We're all set for play. Junaid Siddique has the new ball in his hand, and he starts with a wide down the leg side. Him and Mohamed Rohid, with their pace on what looks like a fresh pitch that's been laid out by the head groundsman, Anoop here, does mean we have a slightly shorter leg side boundary, only fractionally from that far end of the pavilion, or the Oman LNG end of the ground. They're going to be key. Their 8 overs alongside Hyder Ali's 4, maybe the 12 most critical overs of this first innings.
Junaid Siddique and Mohammad Rohid, the two opening bowlers for UAE, they will have to have a good start.
Bit of movement, a nice bit of shape from Siddique. Yeah, we spoke the other day, didn't we? These two, well, the star attractions of that T20 auction that took place 10 days ago, $310,000 in player salary between them, 170 and 140,000 respectively. Two very talented bowlers.
Very talented, and Junaid Siddique, very experienced as well, has been playing for UAE for quite a long time.
One slip in place, that's Alishan Sharafu. Oh, and again, a bit of movement. Bertel does well to deal with that, guides it down to deep third. Is it fair to say, purely in terms of well, I suppose, international pedigree, I'm not saying that Zahid Ali doesn't have lots of potential, and of course, been so impressed by the start from Hyder Ali, and also Dhruv Parashar has potential, but those 12 overs, we've seen Hyder Ali's been brilliant from the time he's come into international cricket, so much so there is no Ayan Afzal Khan in the squad. And he's keeping Simranjeet Singh out of the 11 today. But it's almost as though they need to target that sort of 4th, 5th, 6th bowler combination today, Nepal, potentially.
That's the three bowlers that you mentioned, the 12 overs that they're going to bowl. That's guided down to third man for a single. And talking about those three bowlers, Mohammad Rohid, Junaid Siddique, and Hyder Ali, the left arm orthodox. He's a very good bowler, very good action as well.
Bowls good pace too, doesn't he? It might not be the stereotypical T20I power play today, with a bit of movement and the quality of bowlers we'll see up top here. Nepal might be best served trying to keep some wickets in hand. A few Nepal fans starting to make some noise here at the ground. Siddique is a class act, isn't he? He's fast, he's fearsome, he can get a bit emotional, occasionally probably pushing the envelope in terms of his aggression, but he is a fantastic asset for any team, let alone any associate side, and has been, well, right at the peak of his powers in the last couple of seasons.
He's been very good for UAE. He bowls that outswingers back of the length and gets the ball dart in to the right-hander as well.
Guided away. It's a good stroke, and it will race to the rope. Follows the shape of Junaid Siddique and just extends the arms. Kushal Bertel has found a good patch of form in recent times. That's the first boundary, and it races to the rope.
He didn't try to hit the ball hard, just timed it behind square on the offside. The first boundary for Bertel and for Nepal. A decent start in the first over, 7 for no loss.
You were commenting to me, Paresh, that it looks like there's a little bit less grass on this surface than some of the ones we've seen so far.
Yes, there's not much of a grass covering on the top. We saw that on the first 3 days of the league stages.
Haven't seen particularly high scores throughout the competition, have we? I think the 160s, 170s being sort of the pinnacle or the peak of it all. 7 for none after 1. Has that surprised you, or it's just, I suppose, a byproduct of the volume of cricket played here, and also maybe the majority of these sides here, the 9 teams trying to qualify, their strength may lay a little more in their bowling rather than their batting?
The only high score in this particular ground, the Turf 1 in Oman Cricket Academy, it was Kuwait who scored 170 odd runs, and it was chased by Japan. It's gonna be Mohammad Rohid, the left arm seamer, from the media box end. There's a slip, a deep third man, and a deep square leg, the two fielders outside the 30-yard circle in the power play. The captain is always close to the bowler, Mohammad Wasim, encouraging the bowlers each and every ball.
Again, talk about the depth of Emirati cricketers, no Jawadullah in this squad. Mohammad Rohid has very much taken over. His Sheikh wants the single, goes quickly, and should get home comfortably enough. Few concerns in Nepal's batting order. Kushal Malla has a lack of runs. Rohit Paudal's got a couple of starts. They've relied pretty heavily on Gulshan Jah, haven't they, to kind of come in and rescue things in both matches thus far.
This is a very good opportunity for Rohit Paudal and Kushal Malla to come out and score runs against a good bowling attack. They have that capability to do so. We still remember that game in the ACC Premier Cup final where Gulshan Jah scored unbeaten 50 to go to the Asia Cup against UAE.
Yeah, he's got a big fondness for playing on big occasions. Right on the money is Rohid. What would Nepal want from this power play? Is it as much about wickets as runs potentially today with the fact they're facing probably the two premier bowlers here?
They should at least try to get above 40 without losing a wicket. To do that, you need boundaries every over and just don't take any risk.
Two fielders outside the circle, quite a wide deep third and deep backward square. There's that one. Well, no contact made. A bit of a nothing shot, just looking to fish at it, and with a slip in play, that is the risk you're asking for Nepal not to take. There's the deep third fielder right in front of the pavilion, quite wide, and deep backward square.
The ball just jumped on Kushal Bhurtel this time around. The ball angling away from the right-hander. The last ball, the ball was coming in to the right-hander. Good mix by Mohammad Rohid.
Innovation now, and gets it round the corner and gets it a long way. May well go all the way. Bhurtel, well, not sure he'd have played that shot 2 or 3 months ago, but he's found his form. He's got his swagger back, and with just a flick of the wrist round the corner, gets the first maximum.
It was outside the off stump. Went towards the off stump, outside the off stump, and just rammed that ball down to fine leg for a 6. Good connection as well.
Because of the fact he plays so aggressively, particularly compared to Asif Sheikh, who has a different style, he's so important, isn't he, in this format for Nepal up at the top of the order. And that one shot has immediately brought about a change in the field. The slip comes out. He goes in and reinforces the offside field. Been very impressed by Mohammad Wasim's progression in his captaincy. I don't think the role sat particularly comfortably with him when he first took it on, but he's worked so hard in his fitness. He's so strong and agile now and athletic. The quality of his batting has always been there, but he's added good tactical nous, and yeah, he'll be one to keep an eye on in the field as always.
He's also very quick through the turf. Mohammad Wasim, very good fielder, good catcher as well.
Top ball to close out the second over. It's 15 for none. It looks like an immediate change of bowling. Maybe a surprise this. Junaid Siddique could be having a change of ends. There's the Nepal fans. A few of them have found an afternoon off work. And they will make plenty of noise as always. So Zahid Ali will come into the attack very early in his international career. And he starts right on the money. Do you think this will be a change of ends for Siddique, or what's happening here?
I think that is what Mohammad Wasim is trying to do, get Siddique from the media box end. There's a breeze coming across the field.
Yeah, very strong breeze. So that should have been aiding Siddique's outswingers from that Oman LNG and the pavilion end of the ground. So it might be a surprise if it's a change of ends. Maybe just holding back 3 overs of what Mohammed Wasim will know is his trump card, his trump asset. Yeah, for Nepal, they probably haven't put in close to a complete batting performance yet. They were in trouble for much of the innings as the diving stop won't prevent the single at backward point. That's Dhruv Parashar there. Against Kuwait, well, probably 15, 16 overs of the game, they're in real trouble. That 19th over got them out of it. And then even against Japan, they had a wobble and ended up 5 wickets down.
Nepal's batting yet to click. The first game when Kushal Bhurtel scored 60-odd runs, and the game-changing over by Gulshan Jah, 27 runs coming off the 19th over against Kuwait.
That was the winning of the contest, really, wasn't it? As Asif Sheikh will feel as though he's missed out there, because it was probably the wrong line, but all he could do was hit it straight to Junaid Siddique, who's in the circle.
Either side of Siddique, that was a boundary for Sheikh, but hit it straight to Junaid Siddique.
Yeah, they're always a little nervy, these early skirmishes or these early encounters between the two sides, almost like two prize fighters, aren't they, in a ring, just sensing each other out. No one wanting to throw big punches yet, just having a look. Both of these sides, they also know each other very well. Cut away to the rope. It's a good shot from Bhurtel. He's so important for Nepal here. And a bit of frustration from Zahid Ali. He feels as though the fielder should have stopped it, but it was short and it was wide and it got the treatment it deserved.
Gave a little bit of room and cut that away behind square on the offside. There was a diving effort by the fielder there, but couldn't stop the ball. Just on top of the bounce, Kushal Bhurtel was very in control of that shot.
Yeah, he did everything perfectly with that shot, and you have to say Bhurtel is just such an important cog in the wheel for Nepal's batting in this format. Guides it away again, just be a single this time. He's looked a completely sort of changed cricketer, isn't he? His batting, he couldn't get runs at all last year, and he's turned it around big time in the last 2 or 3 months.
The last game against West Indies, when he batted so well, he scored 39. That is the game when he started to click, and again in the first game against Kuwait, got 60-odd runs. Even against Japan, 20 of 20. He started off well in this innings.
Now Asif Sheikh goes into the leg side. Oh, it could have gone to the man, but falls about probably 5 or 10 yards shy of Harshit Kaushik out there, who's one of the other left arm spin options in the team. It will be an 8-run first over, so Nepal will be pleased enough with their start. They're 23 for none. Always funny when you think of this fixture between these two sides and you look at it and you say, if Mohammed Wasim gets runs, UAE are probably favourites. If he doesn't, Nepal will be confident. That's how big a presence he is in the contest. There's obviously a lot more to it, but his run scoring record, particularly here at this ground, I think between the two venues, Jatinder Singh's just gone back past him in terms of the leading run scorer in T20Is, but at this main oval here, where he's got 2 centuries already, he's the leading run scorer in T20I history. As we'll see spin for the first time, and how will the pitch react to the slower bowlers? The highly impressive Hyder Ali will come in. Got a lovely action. He's kept Simranjeet Singh out of the 11, which was the other way around for UAE's first game of the series against Qatar. I couldn't believe he missed out in that first game. And these will be 4 important overs. Immediately causes problems. You sense that Nepal probably have a bit more depth and flexibility to their bowling lineup compared to the UAE?
Nepal, they have 9 options in bowling, apart from Asif Sheikh and Sundeep Zora. All the rest of the 9 players can come and bowl any time.
Yeah, and all of them haven't they, at various points? Yeah, a few problems immediately. Pace comes off the ball. Just wonder, was it a misread of the surface from both sides in some ways? Nepal have that flexibility in their bowling lineup, but UAE went with the extra seamers. They've gone with those 3 out-and-out seamers. I suppose Harshit Kaushik gives them the flexibility to maybe bowl a few more overs of spin. But they only have 8 frontline overs of spin on a surface that looks like it's going to help. Sheikh goes over the top and gets a good piece. 1 bounce, 4, exploits those fielding restrictions. Had to take a risk, but gets a boundary.
Gives himself room inside out over cover fielder. Played it on the up. The fielders in the offside, all of them are inside the 30-yard circle. Only the fielders in the boundary line are deep square leg and long off.
Yeah, and that's why it's a really good option to just give yourself that bit of room outside the leg stump. There is risk involved. You're exposing your stumps to the bowler, you're giving him a chance to find the wickets. But as a consequence, he's got to dart that into the leg stump. And good batting from Sheikh, follows up the boundary with a single. Do you think Nepal will have been confident coming into today that it's a strange stat that they've never beaten the UAE here? I think they might have lost 2 or 3 games to them here in this venue.
In the ACC Premier Cup T20I, they lost to UAE in the semi-finals, the Asia Cup qualifiers. It's a decent start for Nepal, 28 for no loss in the 4th.
Yeah, this is impacted outside the line, so only a stifled appeal, but a good start from Ali despite that boundary. 5 runs come from his first, 28 for none. Pleasing start, but not getting away from the UAE at all, just a little nervy both sides. See the counter on the big screen on the left of your shot there. It's that new law from the ICC that the bowler must be ready to deliver the ball within 60 seconds of the previous over. You do have 2 warnings. You'll get a first warning and then a second and final warning, and in the 3rd time it'll be a 5-run penalty. So it wasn't Junaid Siddique that was going to have a change of ends. Instead it's going to be Mohammad Rohid.